Please, no. Sebastien was decent enough, but he talked non-stop. His outgoing nature would balance your introversion. You'll have to work on that so you can host galas like this. Say it louder, Mother. Perhaps if we go into the marquee, we can match names to the silent auction bids. Lorena tilted away her mask, which was mounted on a stick like a lorgnette. I shouldn't have agreed to anything so childish as a masked ball. Very inconvenient. Most people seem to be enjoying themselves, Pia said mildly, noting laughter and noises of surprise as they approached the bustling tent, where guests mingled while perusing the fundraising items. Ever the observer of animal behavior, especially human, Pia considered why a disguise would instill such high spirits. Was it the nostalgia of youthful play? She wouldn't know. Her childhood had been so rigid as to be a form of conditioned adulthood. Poppy is doing well, Lorena acknowledged her new daughter-in-law with reluctant approval as she glanced over the bids for rare vintage wines, antique jewelry, spa packages, and VIP tickets to shows on Broadway and London's West End. Did the masks reduce caution and provoke a willingness to take risks? Pia wondered. Similar to the way social media provided a removal from face-to-face interactions, thereby emboldening people to behave more freely? Pia certainly felt at liberty to stare more openly. From behind the screen of her mask, she watched a couple debate a bid for a certain item. The woman protested it was too extravagant, while the man insisted he loved her and wanted her to have it. Pia was fascinated by interactions like that. They reminded her of the tenderness and indulgence that existed between her older brothers and their wives. They had both started their marriages in scandal, but had turned them into something meaningful, making her yearn for something like it for herself, as she repaired the family name by way of a low-drama civilized marriage that was more a contracted merger with a dynasty of equal rank and prestige. She bit back a sigh. Taking up the mantle of duty wasn't a sacrifice, she assured herself. It was a sensible course of action that benefited everyone, including herself. Her few attempts at dating had been failures, something the perfectionist in her loathed. Love and passion were foreign concepts. She wouldn't recognize either if she tripped over them. She turned from spying on the couple and ran straight into a man setting down a pencil. Physically, the impact was light. With wistfulness blanketing her, however, the collision felt monumental, life-altering. His opera cloak opened like dark wings that threatened to engulf her, as his hands came up to grasp her upper arms and steady her. Their masks had caused this, her confused mind quickly deduced. They interfered with peripheral vision. She wasn't clumsy or blind and doubted he was either. He was too vital and controlled. She recognized those traits in him instinctively, even though she wasn't usually sensitive to such things, or sensual either. But she found herself taking in non-visual elements even more swiftly than the sight of him. The heat of his body radiated around her. The strength in his hands was both gentle and firm. The scent of fresh air and orange blossoms clung to his clothing, as though he'd arrived from a long walk through the grove, not from the stale air of a car. Who was he? His black tricorn hat had simple white trim. She glanced down to his black-on-black brocade vest over a black shirt, his snug black pants tucked into tall black boots. A pirate, she thought, and looked back to his porcelain mask, white, blank, and angular. It cast a shadow onto his stubbled jaw, his beard as black as the short hair beneath his hat. She couldn't tell what color his eyes were, but as he looked straight into hers, her pulse shot up with the race of a prey animal. She held that inscrutable stare, arms in his talon-like grip, skin too tight to contain.